everyone, welcome back to Strange Mind 6. I'm your host Ruby, and today we're going to be getting back into the book of Superstitions, Folklore, Myths, and Legends from around the world. I might sound a little bit under the weather just because of seasonal allergies, but I definitely could not hold a video from you guys. I wanted to film it and get back into it and actually read the following chapter, which is the Japanese mythological monsters. So, without further ado, let's get to it, shall we? Japanese mythology, like Chinese, is rich and varied. Here's a few of the many spirits and monsters. Yamata-no-Orochi. One of the tales of Susanoo involves the sea god traveling up a river until he comes upon an old couple weeping. The couple tell him that their only daughter is to be sacrificed to the hideous sea serpent Yamata no Orochi, 8-branched giant snake. The creature is described as having 8 heads and 8 tails. 8 is a mystical number in Japanese mythology, its great length being equal to the length of 8 valleys and 8 hills, its hide covered with moss, its back sporting fir and cypress trees, and its underbelly bloody and inflamed. The couple reveal that they previously had 8 daughters, but the monster appeared every year for 7 years and ate one of their daughters, leaving only the last one. Now it was coming again. Susanoo declared that he will slay the creature if the couple give him their last daughter as his wife, to which they hastily agreed. Susanoo changes the girl into a hair comb. He secures her in his hair. Then he instructs the couple on how to capture the monster. They are to distill a liquor that was refined 8 times and fill 8 vats with it. They must then build an encircling fence with 8 gates, and they must place a vat of the liquor in front of each gate. When all is ready, they wait. The monster appears as anticipated and is drawn to the magical elixir. It dips one of its 8 heads into each of the vats at the 8 gates and drinks it until it becomes too intoxicated to stand, whereupon it falls over and sleeps. As the creature sleeps, Susanoo hacks it to pieces with his 10-hand sword until the river runs with blood. As he cuts the last piece of the beast's tail, his sword breaks. Surprised, Susanoo examines the tail piece and finds the mystical sword Kusanagi no Tsurugi inside, which becomes one of the 3 sacred imperial regalia of Japan. Yamata no Orochi is an example of a kaiju, strange beast, which evolved into a whole genre of Japanese filmmaking in the mid 1950s and continues even today. Famous film kaiju includes Godzilla, Gojira, Rodan, Ghidorah, and Mothra. Kaiju are mythological, sorry, but don't seem to have historical roots in Japanese folklore. The next is yokai. Yokai is the general term for monsters in Japanese, variously known as ayakashi, mononoke, or mamono. Yokai have roots in folklore, with many of them dating back centuries. Here are some yokai types. Gashadokuro are gigantic, skeleton creatures that wander the countryside in search of victims to eat. When a victim is found, the Gashadokuro will seize him or her and bite their head off, then drain the victim of blood in an effort to flesh out its own bony torso. These creatures are believed to be the vengeful spirits of people who have died of starvation. Jorogumo has the upper body of a beautiful woman and the lower body of a giant spider. She lures men in their deaths by seducing them, drawing them to isolated areas, then spinning them into bundles with her silk before draining them of blood. Some versions of the Jorogumo stun her victims first by handing them her baby to hold, which then turns out to be a mass of spider eggs that explode and cover the victim with baby spiders and venom. Akaname are the horrifying, sorry about that, red-skinned demons of dirty bathrooms. They are described as having greasy hair, slimy skin, and long sticky tongues that they use to devour filth from unclean surfaces. Their most powerful ability is to spread disease. Umiboso is a giant creature of the ocean depths. It has a human shape and dark skin, but it only appears from the waist up due to the depth of the water. It will attack unsuspecting ships by swamping them with water and drowning the sailors. The only hope of escape when confronted by one of these creatures is to offer it a bottomless barrel. It is believed that the creature will repeatedly try to fill the barrel, giving the ship time to flee. The word umiboso is translated as sea monk, and the creatures may be the result of vengeful monks. Roku Rokubi look just like regular human females, but they have the terrifying ability to stretch their necks up to 20 feet, 6 meters in length, or worse, to detach their heads altogether and let them fly about. It is said that these monsters are born human and are transformed into evil creatures by their own bad karma or by the evil deeds of their male relatives. Juboko are blood-sucking trees that are so desperate for human blood that they tear apart passing victims and consume them. Juboko began as regular trees which happened to be located where major wars were fought. The ground was soaked with so much blood that the trees were forced to absorb it from the soil, transforming them into the wretched juboko. If you cut a juboko, it will bleed human blood. Oni are Japanese demons or ogres with red or blue skin, wild hair, and giant stature. They carry clubs and possess numerous magical abilities, including the ability to regenerate severed body parts, shape change, fly, spread madness and death, and cause the breakdown of society. They are also gluttons for food and drink. Yurei. Yore are the ghosts of various mythical and or natural creatures. Japanese mythology is ripe with ghosts. Here are some of their stories. Bakekujira is Japan's version of Moby Dick. This haunted skeleton of a whale swims the coastlines at night, followed by a cadre of weird birds and unknown fish. If spotted on a foggy night, it is said that the person who saw it will have bad luck. Kasaobake is one of the most bizarre yore. It is an umbrella that becomes a ghost on its 100th birthday. It is said to have a single leg, one or two eyes, and a long hanging tongue. The creatures have a fondness for hunting down their former owners and eating them. Katakirwa are the ghosts of baby piglets, distinguishable from normal pigs by their odd dark skin, single ear, and glowing red eyes. It moves with a curious hopping gait, and it is believed that if the creature somehow passes between your legs, it can strip away your soul. Onryo are terrifying, vengeful spirits that arise from the souls of people who die with anger, hatred, or jealousy in their hearts. These ghosts have unfinished business with the living. They seek out those they feel wrong them, torturing and driving them to madness and death. Noperabo are ghosts that look like humans except they have no faces. Their name means faceless monk, and their main occupation seems to be frightening people. They appear before their victims facing away, from them at first, then slowly turn to reveal a ghastly visage. Next chapter, India. Indian civilization began some 4,500 years ago in the great Indus Valley in what is modern-day Pakistan. This civilization, or perhaps cluster of civilizations, suffered numerous invasions from northern tribes, which somehow managed to cross the shield wall of the Himalayas. Scholars think that Hinduism arose from the roots of the belief system of the Indus people somewhere during the second millennium BCE, the Late Bronze Age. Hinduism may be the oldest continuously practiced religion in the world, with texts that date back to 2000 BCE and earlier. The term Hinduism is not without controversy. The word was coined by British writers during the imperial period and is therefore objectionable to some. Terms such as Vedic religion or Hindu Sanatana Dharma may be preferable. Approximately 70% of the Indian population identifies themselves as Hindu, while another 10% identifies as Muslim. The remaining percentage are divided amongst Buddhism, Jainism, Christianity, and others. One of the primary, if not the most important tenets of Hinduism is truth. But Hindus don't believe that truth is didacted. Instead, truth can be found in many places, and all truth is relative to the place, time, and culture of whomever espouses it. Therefore, modern Hindus believe strongly in the need for tolerance and broad-based search for knowledge from disparate sources. This belief in the relativity of truth has led in part to the development of the massive pantheon of Hindu gods and goddesses, and the wealth of mythology, doctrine, and practice that accompanies it. Reincarnation, or more properly, transmigration, is a central belief of Hinduism, particularly in Southeast Asia. The soul of the spirit is believed to be reborn into another form after death. Which form the soul takes in the next life is dependent upon the karma determined by the good or bad actions of a person, did in previous lives of the person who died. Hindu gods and goddesses. It is said that there are 2 million gods and goddesses in the Hindu pantheon, and that they are all worshipped. A number of these deities are avatars of some of the primary immortals, while others could be considered lesser gods that may appear sporadically or In special circumstances, here are some of the gods and goddesses of Hindu mythology. Agni. Agni is the fire god, friend and protector of humanity, the guardian of the home. More hymns in the Vedas are offered to Agni, than other deity. The parents of Agni are variously listed as Aditi and Kashyapa, the Vedic sky father, and Prithvi or Prithivi, or even Lord Brahma himself. Ganesha, the elephant-headed son of Shiva and Parvati. Ganesh is the lord of intellect and wisdom, and god of good fortune and overcoming obstacles, which is demonstrated by his single tusk. He is usually depicted as having red or yellow skin, and the body of a man in addition to his elephant head, which he received from Shiva after the destroyer lopped off the youngster's human head in a fit of anger. He also has a large body and 4 arms, which represent his divinity. He is the embodiment of the primordial sound from whence all hymns arose. Ganesh has 3 wives, and he also represents the perfect balance between kindness and strength, power and beauty, truth and illusion, the real and unreal. Ganesh rides upon a mouse, which represents ignorance and his dominion over it. Kali. Kali is the Dark Mother, the terrifying avatar of Shakti. Kali represents the ferocity of motherly love. She typically has blue or black skin, 4 or frequently 8 to 10 arms, a long protruding tongue, red eyes, and a face and chest caked with blood. Each of her hands holds a fearsome weapon, usually a sword of some type. Her earrings are severed human heads and a necklace of 50 heads, each representing a letter of the Sanskrit alphabet, encircles her neck. Her skirt is made from severed human arms and hands. She may be shown standing on the body of her husband, Shiva, who threw himself beneath her feet to stop her murderous rampage. She has 3 eyes in order to see the past, present, and future. Kala is the Sanskrit word for time. Kali's worshippers have a deep relationship with the goddess and are said to love her like their own mothers. Lakshmi, goddess of beauty and light, good fortune and wealth. Lakshmi is the wife of Shakti, sacred energy, of Vishnu, and she reincarnates with him each time he takes the form of one of his avatars. She is Sita to his Rama, and Radha to Rukmini. to his Krishna. Lakshmi is depicted as a beautiful fair-skinned woman with 4 arms, an indication of divinity, standing or sitting upon a padma, the sacred lotus. It is often accompanied by 1 or 2 elephants who shower the waters of the ocean upon her. She was elevated from the milky sea by the primeval war god Indra, who churned the sea with the help of the other gods. To raise the world's treasures from its depths, Lakshmi is verily without Vishnu, and may frequently be found massaging the feet of the protector god. Lakshmi is the influence for goddesses of a number of other nations, including Vadsuhara in Nepal and the Tibet region of China, Dewi Sri in Bali, Indonesia, and Kishijoten in Japan. Lakshmi rides upon an owl. Parjana or Parjanya, god of rain, thunderstorms, lightning, and monsoons. Parjana has dominion over the reproduction of all vegetation and living creatures, though there is debate as to whether he was originally the god of rain or the god of thunder. He is compared to the Lithuanian thunder god Perkūnas and the Norse god Thor. Parjanya is the husband of Prithvi, also Bhumi, who is the embodiment of the earth, and the sacred cow Vasa, whose milk represents the life-giving rain. He is associated with the Vedic lord Varuna, the sky god. As a cloud deity, Parjanya appears as a fair-skinned man with 4 arms, who is seated on a lotus blossom. He wears gold earrings with a large gold crown, with a gold circlet and a rainbow halo behind it. He often holds lotus flowers in 2 of his hands. He is also one of the 12 Adityas, the children of Idiri, goddess of the sky and mother of gods. Surya, the sun, is primary among Adityas and can be compared to the zodiac signs of Western astrology. The Adityas each shine in a different month of the year. Parjanya's is the month of Kartik. Parvati, in addition to being the wife of Shiva, Parvati is also the Shakti, or life energy, that produced the gods Ganesha, Kartikeya, god of war, and Ashokasundari, goddess of imagination. Parvati is the mother goddess in Hindu religion. She has dominion over fertility, marriage, love, beauty, children, and devotion, especially marital fidelity. Kali is a terrifying aspect of Parvati, representing maternal love. Parvati is the model for Tara in Chinese and Nepalese Buddhism. Cybele in Greco-Roman mythology, and the Greek goddess Vesta. She is the nurturing aspect of the supreme Hindu goddess Devi. Together, Lakshmi and Saraswati Parvati forms the Tridevi, the holy trinity of the goddess, which complements and assists the Trimurti in the business of creating, maintaining, and recycling the universe. Parvati rides upon Dawan, the lion. Saraswati. Saraswati is the wife of Brahma and goddess of knowledge, learning, wisdom, and the arts. She is Shakti to the creator god and forms part of the Tridevi. She is the origin of the goddess Anahita in ancient Persia, Athena, Minerva in ancient Greece and Rome, and Benzaiten in Japan. She is the sister of Shiva, the destroyer, and she rides either a swan or a peacock. Surya, the sun and the sun god. Surya is the firstborn son of Aditi, the mother of gods, and her husband Kashyapa, a revered Vedic sage. Surya drives a golden chariot pulled by 7 white horses across the sky, predating Apollo and Sol. Hindu mythological and mythical monsters will be the next chapter, and this is where we will leave off, my dear friends. So tune in next time to hear more about superstitions, folklore, myths, and legends from around the world. This has been your host, Ruby, signing off, and may you have a great morning, noon, or night whenever you are seeing this video, my dear, dear friends. See you later.